Going over DI 116. So it says find the distance D between the points and the midpoint M of the line segment which connects them. So it gives us 2 points, wants us to find the distance between the 2 points, and it wants us to find the midpoints. So our distance formula is you take the 2x values, subtract them and square it, and you add that to the 2y values subtracted, squared it. So we're going to have to do that. So in this instance, if I have the 2 points, -2, 3, and -7, -7, this is my first point, x0 and y0, and this is my second point, x1 and y1. So I just plug them in. So my distance, plug in these values in, I get -7 minus -2, so negative, negative, that's why I put it into a positive, plus -7, so that's y1 minus 3 squared. So -7 minus 2 is -5, -5 squared is 25, and then plus -7 minus 3 is -10. -10 squared is 100. So my distance is the square root of 125. Now if I wanted to simplify that in exact, breaking that up into 2 different square roots, I get the square root of 25 and the square root of 5. Square root of 25 is 5, so my distance is going to be 5 times the square root of 5. You just multiply those together, and that's going to be my distance. If you get in your calculator, you get a decimal approximation. Now the midpoint formula is you add the 2 x values together, divide by 2, add the 2 y values together, divide by 2, and then that's your midpoint. So in this instance, I'm going to add the 2 x values together, so -2 plus -7 over 2, and then the 2 y values, so -7 plus 3 all over 2. So simplifying that, -2 and -7, that gives you -9, so -9 over 2, -7 plus 3, that's going to be -4, -4 over 2 is going to be -2. So that right there, that's the midpoint. Let's look at one more. If I have 8, 5, and -1, 3. So this is number 3. So first point, second point. So plugging them in, the distance, x1 minus x0 squared plus y1 minus y0 squared. So that's going to be -9 squared, which is the square root of 81. And add that to, see, that's 3 minus 5, that's -2. -2 squared, that's going to be 4. So I get the square root of 85. Now the question is, does that reduce? That's going to be, what, 17 and 5. So no, it doesn't. So that's going to be my answer. And you can use a calculator to figure out how it reduces. It's finding our midpoint. So I'm going to add them together. So 8 plus -1 all over 2. And 5 plus 3 all over 2. So 8 and the -1 is 7. So I get 7 halves. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 over 2 is 4. That's my answer. It says write the set in interval notation. So the intersection of these two sets. So the first one for number 6. So that's going to be negative infinity to 5. And the other one's going to be from 5. They overlap here. And so my answer is going to be 5. Now the reason why I choose 5 is because it's the intersection. Right? We have to, the intersection means where they overlap, and it only overlaps at 5. For number 8, it says reflect the following points over the x, y, and axis and origin. So to reflect it over the x-axis, you have to add a negative to the y, so you get negative 3, negative 7. To reflect it over the y-axis, you have to add a negative to the x value. And to reflect it around the origin, you add a negative to both the x and the y. That's going to be my answer. The last one here, it says there are a total of 500 students in grades 1 through 5. 17% of the students are in first grade, 19 are in fourth grade. The third grade students is 9 less than the number of fourth graders, and second graders is 10 less than the number of fifth graders. Complete and show the graph below. So first and fourth grade are kind of the easiest. If I have 17% of 500, then you're going to do 0.17 times 500 in your calculator. And that's going to be for the first grade. And then the same thing for your fourth grade. That's going to be 0.19 of 500. So I'm going to get 85. So first graders, third, fourth, and fifth. So for first graders, I get 85. And then it's 95 for fourth graders. It says the number of third graders is 9 less than the number of fourth graders, and the number of second graders is 10 less than the number of fifth graders. So if I have the original 500, 500, 85 minus 95. So I have 320 left. Okay, because I know that that's what it's going to be. So that means that the number of second plus the number of third plus the number of fifth needs to equal 320. Because that's all that's left. So it says the number of third graders is 9 less than the number of fourth graders. Well, I have the number of fourth graders. So the number of third graders is 9 less than 995. So minus 9, you get 86. So I know that this is 86. So the number of second graders plus the number of fifth graders, if I subtract 86 on both sides, that's going to be 234. Then it says the number of second graders is 10 less than the number of fifth graders. So the number of second graders equals 10 less than the number of fifth graders. So I can replace that. I can say fifth minus 10 plus fifth graders equals 234. Add 10 to both sides, so I have 2 times the number of fifth graders equals 244. Divide by 2, the number of fifth graders is going to be 122. And then we know that the number of second graders is 10 less than that, so that's going to be 112.